Good evening and happy Christopher Columbus Day, everybody. Steve is out tonight, and my good friend Eric Bolling is in.
Well, happy Christopher Columbus Day to you, too. And speaking for all Italian-American conservatives, let's go, Brandon. But Christopher Columbus, I don't even know what Indigenous Peoples Day really means. Maybe you can explain it to me, Jen.
Well, you know, it is a throwaway holiday for many, but Christopher Columbus was actually one of the most consequential men, not just in American history, but in world history. In many ways, Columbus was the original founding father of America. Columbus fearlessly took off into the unknown and ended up bringing Western civilization to the Americas, which led to the eventual creation of the United States. It's not a right-wing talking point. It's a view shared by many, including left-leaning scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I think him coming to America was the most significant thing to ever happen in our species. Columbus crosses the Atlantic, makes contact with humans. This is the first time that has happened in 10,000 years. We have rejoined two branches of the human species.
Joining us now to discuss is another Eric Metaxas, host of the Eric Metaxas Show and author of the new book, Is Atheism Dead? Eric, thanks for joining us.
It's a privilege to join you, and this is such an important conversation to have. I live right here in New York City, and I'm enough of a jughead that literally I was going for a run today, and I saw a gigantic dump truck and all these cops, and I said, hey, guys, what's going on? They said, oh, yeah. It's Columbus Day. I literally forgot. And I got in a conversation with these cops, right? If you want to know what normal people are thinking, people that didn't study Howard Zinn 10 minutes ago, it was kind of amazing to me because you realize that we've all been gaslit by these Marxist elites that we're supposed to hate Christopher Columbus. We're supposed to hate, you name it, George Washington. We really have to push back much, much harder than we do. When people tell us that Columbus is a bad guy, that he committed genocide, you have to say, so is it genocide if I give you a cold and you die like I did that intentionally? We have, think about this. China infected the entire world with a virus that's killing many people. In a day like today where we have incredible medicine, right? We don't call that genocide. And the woke people, whether it's Antifa, BLM, anybody in skinny jeans drinking soy lattes, they tend not to get in the face of the communist Chinese. Why is that? Because they're people that are fearful. And they have, when you think of Chicken Little, that's about the level of courage these people have. So they will only attack you if you're a nice guy, if you're an American, but they will never go after actual villains. As Eric said, Christopher Columbus is a huge hero. What he did on many levels, the heroism of even thinking to try to do what he did, to raise the money for it, it's just astonishing. Everyone in America, everyone in the whole world should celebrate him as a hero. And when we hear noises to the contrary, I think we just have to turn in another direction. We ought not to take it seriously.
Well, Eric, let's talk a little bit about the noises in the other direction. I think the left is pushing back on a couple of things. One is that Christopher Columbus actually opened up Indigenous people, the Native Americans, to being overrun by other human beings, so therefore it's his fault somehow, crazily. But also, I believe there's a religious aspect to this as well, is there not?
Well, I think, again, it only works in one direction, right? Christopher Columbus was a genuine Christian. He wasn't just, a Gentile. He wasn't just he was somebody who took the faith seriously, and he felt it was his honor to introduce the true faith, the good news of Jesus, to people that had no other way of hearing. I mean, we've sent missionaries around the world to do that. Many of them have lost their lives. So it's a noble idea. Now, if you don't agree with Christianity, that's your issue. But the idea that Christianity is like some white religion being imposed on indigenous people is utterly preposterous. I mean, it's like it deserves a loud horse laugh, because most of the most vibrant Christians on the planet today are people of color.
But I'm sorry, Jen, I don't mean to interrupt this time, but so it wasn't that Christopher Columbus was trying to spread Christianity around the world. He was literally, they were searching for a shipping route, a route to bring goods to trade back and forth from Spain to China, to Asia. And somehow it's been turned into some sort of, oh, this is a religious thing that ended up costing the lives of thousands of Native Americans.
Well,
is it about right?
It was sort of both. It was sort of both, Eric. In other words, I think obviously because of the Muslim takeover of Constantinople. I'm Greek, so what happened in 1453 is a bummer on many levels, but it prevented Europe from getting to Asia. And yes, he thought maybe there's a way to go in this other direction. But what's interesting is that it was important to him also that he would get to share the Christian faith with the people that he encountered. So that really was something that was important to him.
Eric, what do you think about, there's a shift now with the younger generation. We have a poll up here that we can put up from YouGov. More U.S. young adults, they prefer calling the second Monday in October Indigenous Peoples Day over Columbus Day. Where do you think that trend is coming from? And as you said, obviously we have to push back on this, but how do we get the youngest generation on board when they're already turning their backs on Columbus Day?
I don't know. I'm one of these people that doesn't think we have to work too hard to get them on board. They are young. They have my permission to be wrong about stuff. We don't have to get in their face and convince them. Eventually, they'll usually see common sense. I just think that schools are indoctrinating young people, and we really have to push back on this. Shame on us that we let it get this far. But Howard Zinn and others, they've been preaching lies to our children we're paying with our tax dollars, and they're giving them a sour view of America. It's a fundamentally anti-American view. It doesn't celebrate America. It doesn't celebrate freedom. It acts as though there's been freedom all around the world and we're some kind of anomaly, and we're freedom with a little racism mixed in. It's complete nonsense. This country, without any question, is the greatest country in the world. We've brought more freedom and more wealth to people, including people beyond our shores, than any nation in the history of the world. But something happened in the 60s, and this Marxist anti-American view took control. And what it really does is it focuses on everything negative. I'm not saying that there aren't negative things, but to focus on the negative things completely, there's something sick about it. It's like having a kid and only bringing things up that you hate about them, never praising them, never saying, you've improved. There's something sick about that. We need to love this country, and we've entered in a strange time the last 50 years. Yeah. We have a lot of work to do, but not allowing people to call us Indigenous Peoples. What does that even mean? It's sophistry. They're weasel words. What do we expect from Joe Biden? But we have to push back. It's just completely silly.
Well, Eric, as you were...
Go ahead, Jen.
Real quick, Eric. So, as you were speaking there, Eric, we're showing footage of last year of the Christopher Columbus statues being toppled. I remember this time last year when Nancy Pelosi simply said, oh, people will do what they do in response to these statue topplings, just shrugging it off. So what's their end goal here? First, it's Christopher Columbus Day. You replace it with Indigenous Peoples Day. What's next?
Well, think of it this way. What does it matter what their goals are? Where were the mayors who allowed them to tear down these statues? You can't blame young, ignorant people for doing stupid things, but you can blame mayors and governors for letting them do it. That is where the fault lies. They will do anything. They will burn down the White House. They will do whatever you let them do. But we have law enforcement. We have rules in this country. We have laws. Most Americans love America, and most Americans are disgusted at this. But they're mostly disgusted at the, let's put it honestly, the cowardly non-leaders in most of the blue cities around this country. It is because of them that these things are happening. It's not because of crazy young people.
Well, we're almost out of time here, but Eric Bolling, I cut you off. Did you have one last question?
I just wanted to make, like, you were touching on something, Eric, very important, that our young people are being indoctrinated by academia, and we're seeing it right now where the teachers' unions are weaponizing the Department of Justice against parents. It's never been tried before. This feels like it's the Marxist left who are just trying to see how far they can push the limit. I mean, this is further than anyone's ever gone in this country.
That is precisely right, Eric. They are pushing and pushing. And I think the thing is, most Americans are really nice, and we don't like to fight. And we like to say, well, there's two sides to the story, and I've got friends that are Democrats. Well, if you have friends that are Marxist, violent people, you need to unfriend them, and you need to understand they're at war with everything. People died. People died so that we could have this free, wonderful country. These people and their friends in the Democratic Party and their friends in the media have turned into wicked purveyors of Marxist, anti-freedom ideas that are going to harm people. If you really care about the poor, you better understand socialism crushes the poor. You better understand that all this virtue signaling about BLM, if they really were helping black people, I'd be all for them. But we really have to wake up and understand we are fighting people that they will take every millimeter we let them take. It's about time we said, that's enough. Happy Columbus Day.
There is no question about it. Eric Metaxas, thank you for joining us, and happy Columbus Day to you as well.
Thank you.